Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. In this short video, I'm just going to give you an overview of a medical illustrator and what actually are medical illustrations and what are the different kinds of medical illustrations. Throughout this mini course, we will continue to learn different techniques and how do we draw different structures. But in this video, I'm just going to give you an overview of what basically are the jobs of a medical illustrator. So a medical illustrator is any person who has artistic abilities and the knowledge of biology to draw or visualize various biological structures, biological phenomena, or cellular mechanisms, or they try to educate people on various subjects of biology, diseases, and many other aspects. So, for example, you can see these cancer cells that I have drawn in Illustrator. They are very easy to draw. Then we have B cells and monocytes. Next, we have these blood vessels that are drawn in Adobe Illustrator. So there are different tools that you can use to draw different structures. These are very basic structures, and I'm going to show you these how to draw them in next videos. In this video, we will continue to see what are the roles of a medical illustrator. So what does a medical illustrator do? First of all, we have 3D or 2D animations. During your classes or online, you might have seen different 3D animations that try to explain various biological concepts or try to educate you. For example, you might have seen videos of DNA or especially surgical procedures. If you can check them out on YouTube, for example, you can check the videos made by scientific animations. Um, for example, in this video, this is a 3D animation where of a childbirth process, and they show how a child is born and what are the phases, what are the processes. So they just mimic the real process and show you how it works. You might have seen such kind of illustrations. For example, there are surgical processes. Many other different mechanisms are explained by the power with the help of 3D medical animations. Next, we have infographics. You might have seen infographics in clinics or online, or where they try to help people understand. For example, you can understand how do you manage a disease, or for example, you might have seen charts of diabetics where there is a chart. They show which foods a diabetic can eat and which they should avoid. You can see them over social media. For example, these are different kinds of infographics, and infographics can be of very different kinds. So what medical illustrator does is that they understand the biology or simply the concept behind it, then try to draw some cartoons or illustrations and visualize it and let common people understand. They can be used, these can be used for educating people, and they are very helpful in many settings. Then we have graphical abstracts, and if you are a student or you are researchers and you ever have had an experience reading a research paper, you might have seen illustrations like these. And this is just a very basic example, but for example, in this illustration, what it is trying to show is that, for example, we have DNA structure of a DNA that is wound around histone beads. These histone beads then condense further, and this condensation leads to the formation of these threads, and then they further condense to form a chromosome. So it is just a graphical representation of this mechanism, but researchers use it in a very different or very advanced illustrations. They with the help of illustrators try to explain the mechanism of their research or basic processes involved in their research. For example, how they design a study or therapeutic modality and how it works for um, for people, and how, like for example, they first of all try to explain it with the help of a text and then make such powerful illustrations to help people understand it. So research medical illustrators usually help create those illustrations as well. And then we have textbooks. Okay, so you might have seen the books of medical students. There are powerful illustrations such as those anatomy illustrations. You can see them in very popular books such as Gray's Anatomy. There are books for physiology as well, where they try to explain cellular processes. Or medical students also use those illustrations to understand the anatomy of humans, where they for example, in this particular structure there is this illustration of stomach along with so there are many such illustrations that try to explain the anatomy of humans. There are videos for the cross sections, and there is a very great variety, and there are medical illustrators have contributed a lot to the field of medical in terms of um, visualizing and helping students understand how different structures, and letting medical students understand those structures with the help of those illustrations. You, if you want to see them, you can for example, you can check them out in Gray's Anatomy, and there are books for physiology as well. So I wanted to share this short video with you, what basically a medical illustrator does. And there are, for example, you can design such illustrations for presentations, various presentations, and then you can design those illustrations. But overall, they all fall in the category of education, and they help try to understand and educate themselves about phenomena or concepts of biology. So if you are interested in learning more about it, I'll try to explain those in further videos, where I'll draw certain structures, and over time you will learn how we draw, for example, cells, how we draw blood vessels, how we draw anatomical structures. And if you are a student or you want to learn this course will be very helpful for you. So I would highly recommend you to subscribe to my channel, and so you can learn it over time. And I thank you very much for viewing this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. Thank you so much.